Hello everyone and welcome to our Restorative Revive session. So this is a brand new format that I'm bringing to you guys and I'm so excited about it. I currently teach this in studio at Ohana right now and man, I've had some amazing feedback and it's been a work in progress for the last 6 months, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Today, all you'll need for your workout is a pillow and a blanket, which sounds so funny. It is just an option at the end to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, and we're just gonna go and take it nice and slow. So this will be great for anybody that is struggling with anxiety, or you're currently going through a transition in life, or maybe you just need to slow it down and revive your body a little bit. So go ahead and make your way to a comfortable seated position. Relax those shoulders up, down, and back away from those ears, maybe even going into a couple shoulder rolls. And starting to tune into your breath. As you feel your shoulders relax down away from your ears, start to tune in. Maybe noticing how effortless your body breathes. Maybe for the first time today, paying attention to it. And as you start to tune in here, also take note of just how you feel in the beginning of this workout. Maybe you had a lot of busyness happen before today. Maybe a lot of stress or happiness. But no matter what led up to this moment here, just being grateful that you've landed here today on your mat. Take a deep breath in, inhaling in fully all the way through the lungs up to the crown of the head. And then exhale, sigh out your mouth. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, maybe flipping those palms up towards the ceiling as you do it. Exhale out. And as you start to return back to that normal breath, I invite you to envision in some positive energy starting to flow through the hands, all the way up through your arms to your heart and through your body. Maybe washing away any tension, any stress, any anxiety that you're currently holding. And just allowing yourself to be present. Taking the next few moments to really settle in here. And just feel proud of yourself for making it here. So often we find ourselves so busy in the day-to-day, checking off the to-do list, tending to other people's needs. But right here in this moment, I want you to tend to just you. Because that in turn will have a ripple effect on those around you. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, inhaling fully one more time through the lungs. Biggest exhale, sigh out your mouth. Go ahead and start to raise those hands all the way up towards the ceiling, taking a full breath in. And then we're just gonna exhale and fold forward. So maybe noticing any tightness within the hips or the lower back. If this does bother your knees, feel free to take it fully extended, legs out in front, into a forward fold. Good, maybe rocking side to side or even going corner to corner. When you're ready, inhale back through center. And if you're in those crossed legs, you're just gonna switch it over to the other side. Inhaling fully up. Exhale, forward fold. Once again, feeling free to kind of move throughout the body here. Making sure to still focus in on that breath. And then slowly roll it back up. Beautiful. Keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to do this throughout the whole first part of this class. So we're going to go ahead and get back into that comfortable seat if you've extended your legs. And we're going to take our right hand down. You're going to sweep up your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. If you get the rights and left wrong, there's no really right or wrong here. So just do whatever feels natural to you. That's the perk about working out from home. Rolling out that wrist, allowing yourself to really open through the rib cage. Go ahead and inhale back through center, and then exhale to that opposite side. Good, really trying to stretch through that side body here. Good, rolling out that wrist. Bringing it in back through center. Both arms are gonna lift up, inhale, and then we're just gonna exhale, twist to one side. Doesn't matter which side here. And just do this nice and gently here. As we start to warm up, really focusing in on that breath. Even inviting a little bit of grit behind it. Being audible, allowing yourself to hear those deep inhales and exhales. One deep breath here, inhaling fully through, maybe even feeling a little bit through the trap. Exhale, release, and just go ahead and switch it over, opposite side. Wrapping yourself to the other side, taking that gaze, looking just past the shoulder. Deep breaths. Good, inhale in. Exhale, let it go. Bring it back through center. And then I'm going to invite you guys to just roll over into a neutral tabletop position. So as you get here, what I want you guys to focus in on is really just allowing your hands to rest gently directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And as you drop your belly, lifting your gaze and opening up. You're going to round and tuck your spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, expanding the ribs. Exhale, drawing under. And doing that a couple times at your own pace here. Good, exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale. Good, bringing it back to that neutral tabletop position here. I'm gonna have you start to just extend out that right leg. Maybe noticing that you're towards the edge of the mat, scooting forward if you need to. And then just give me a couple rocks forward and back. So tucking those toes under and allowing yourself to just feel a little calf stretch here. Good. From here, squaring off the hips, we're gonna draw the belly button in towards the rib cage, just like we did in that cat-cow. And from this position, lifting up that back leg. Now, as we lift that back leg, I don't want you to kind of drop that belly and arch the back. I really want you to tuck those hips under and then notice that feeling right there, holding tight. Extending, lengthening out that arm. Opposite arm and opposite leg are fully lengthening corner to corner of that room. Good, deep breath here, inhaling in. We're gonna exhale, draw knee to elbow, round the spine as much as possible. Biggest exhale. Inhale, lengthen out. Pause, check for a second. Make sure your body's in a nice straight line. Exhale, knee to elbow. One more time, inhale, lengthen out. Last time here, pausing for a second, making sure you're not arching through the back. If you are, even setting down that foot closer to the ground. Exhale, drawing knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Good, setting that hand down, spreading those knees nice and wide, feet together. You're gonna sit back into a child's pose. So child's pose is an amazing option that you can use at any point during class if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you feel like it's just too much. In yoga, they often say you can spend the whole class in child's pose, and it's one of the most courageous things you could do. Maybe taking those hands, placing them back behind your head, feeling a little stretch through the tricep. Good, bringing those hands back down, bringing it back up to that tabletop position. Good. Opposite leg is going to extend back now, and then we're just going to allow ourselves to rock forward and back. Feeling that stretch through the calf. Good. Once you're ready here, allowing that leg to lift up, just up off the ground. Good. Untucking those opposite toes. And then remembering, really drawing that belly in towards the rib cage. Nice straight back. Inhale, lengthen out that opposite arm. So if you do the same arm, same leg on accident, you'll kind of fall over. So position yourself so that you can really feel that balance, that equilibrium working. Good. Big inhale here. Exhale, round the spine, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Make this as big as possible, really lengthening, straightening out that leg as much as possible. Exhale, draw it in. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Hold it. Exhale, draw it in. It should almost feel like a relief there. Inhale, lengthen one more time. And set that hand down, shifting back into child's pose one more time. This time, allowing our forehead to rest down onto the ground. So maybe here, noticing your heart rate is already a little bit elevated, which is crazy because we've only done a few moves. Take a deep breath in to slow it down. Exhale out. Walking those hands all the way over to one side of the mat, one corner, going as far over as possible, and then walk those fingertips up away from you, allowing those hips to sit back away from your arms as much as possible. And then just sitting into that stretch. You really want to feel a stretch through that side body here. Deep breath in. Exhale, walking those hands through center. And then we're just going to switch it over to that opposite side. One more time, really making sure walking those fingertips as far away from the mat as possible. Good, deep breath in, inhaling in through that side body. Exhale out. Bringing it back through center. Good, bringing it back up to that tabletop position. This time we're gonna sit back onto those toes and just stretch out the bottom parts of our feet right now. So this is typically not a fan favorite, but a lot of times what happens is that a lot of our pain stems from the bottom of our feet. If you are able to come up to this position, hips back, chest up, feel free. It may be too much. You may just have to sit right here, especially if you have knee pain. So just allowing those toes to tuck under. Think about how we really don't ever do that through the whole day. So the bottoms of our feet get really tight, which can cause a little bit of a shortened muscle towards our ankle, which then causes issues with our calves, up to our hamstring, and then into the lower back. So surprisingly, even though this kind of sucks a little bit, it's really rewarding on the lower back. Good, take one more deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, walk it forward, then just pat out the tops of those feet. Good, from here now, a little bit more prepared for that downward dog. We're gonna shift those hips back, big downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to go right into the pedal here, drawing through those calves, dropping one heel down and then the opposite heel. So let's go over form just a little bit here, you guys. In that downward dog, you want to literally create a V position, and feel free to just listen. You don't have to watch me right now. Creating that V position, think about an upside down V on your mat, and you're drawing your chest as close as you can towards those quads without moving your hands. So if you are starting to walk your hands really far back and this feels kind of weird, you want to walk your hands forward just a little bit and then draw the chest inward. Good, take a deep breath here, spreading those fingertips nice and wide. Exhale out. Slowly, one hand at a time, even bending into those knees if you need to make this super gentle. Walking towards the back of your mat. Now in this positioning, relax your head down. Don't even worry about what I'm doing. You guys can just listen to my cues. Good, allowing yourself to really heavy hang here, maybe even taking your feet off the back of the mat and then just swaying your body side to side. Imagine how a tree is in the wind, just kind of free flowing. Good, bringing it back through center, Maybe walking those feet closer together, keeping a gentle bend into those knees. Inhale deeply up halfway. So you're going to just lift your chest just slightly so you create an L shape with your body. Fingertips are resting right up on top of the shins. Exhale into a forward fold. This time shaking your head yes and no, allowing any tension to release out of that neck. We're going to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll ourselves up into a standing position. When you get up there, sweep those arms all the way up to the top and then bring those hands in towards heart center. Taking a minute here to close your eyes. And then refocus in on that breath. Noticing how much we did just in those quick 10 minutes on the ground, not even standing up. And maybe how much better your body already feels. Maybe noticing that you already got a little bit of activity in for the day. And that it doesn't take much sometimes, especially when you're tending to mental health. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up. You're going to grab onto your right wrist, lean all the way up and over to your right side. Good. Inhale back through center. Go ahead and switch it over opposite side. And when you do these side bends, really try to lift up and over. Good. Bring it back through center. Release those hands all the way back behind you. This time we're going to interlace your fingers behind your back and just open up your chest. Allowing your head to maybe tilt back slightly. Good. We're going to exhale, go into a forward fold. So with this forward fold, we can keep those hands bound here up over the top, or if that's just way too much right now, release those hands down to the ground. I personally like a little bit of extra shoulder stretch here. Breathing through it. If you haven't already, go ahead and release those hands down to the ground. Good. This time we're going to inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale into that forward fold. We're going to bend into your left arm and your left leg. From here, we're going to open and twist just slightly up and over to the side. If this is too much, you can either place a block underneath your hand or just rest your elbow up on top of that knee. Take a deep breath here, allowing yourself to really open up towards the wall. Exhale out. Go ahead and switch sides, bending into that right arm, right leg, opening up, taking that modification if you need to, no shame. Take a deep breath. Exhale, drop it down. Good. We're going to slowly start to walk ourselves all the way out to a plank position, setting down the knees to modify here. Really using our core strength, drawing the belly button in towards the spine, holding and warming up the core just a little bit. If you want a little bit of heat here, allowing yourself to rock forward and back on those toes, starting to already feel that core fire up. Even if you're in that modified plank position, still allowing those shoulders to relax down away from the ears. Shoulders are doing a little bit of work. Core is working here. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, setting those knees down, and I'm walking those hands back just slightly underneath the chest. So if they're way out in front of you here, that's a little too far. You want it to sit back just a little bit, hands underneath the chest. From here, we're going to drop our elbows down next to the rib cage. Slow and controlled, release yourself all the way down to the ground, and then press firmly into the hands into an upward facing dog or cobra if you're a little bit more advanced. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop back into that downward facing dog. One deep breath here. When you're ready, walking those hands all the way back towards those toes again. Whew. We're going to go through that one more time, nice and gentle. Inhale, lift. Halfway up, flat back. Good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slow to rise all the way up to the top, sweeping those arms up. Hands come to heart center, pausing for a breath. Deep breath in here. Exhale out your mouth. Do that again. Again, deep breath in, inhale. This time grabbing onto one wrist, doesn't matter what side, lean up and over to the side. Good, bringing it back through center, switching it over, opposite side. Good, back through center one more time, this time releasing those arms back behind you, interlace your fingers back behind you, open up. This time if you want to even, I invite you to join a little gentle back bend. You can place your hands right up along the back of your tailbone, sit your hips slightly forward, or just keep it right here. Good, inhale. Exhale, drop it down. Either keeping that bind or releasing the hands all the way down towards the ground. Good. One deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, release those hands down. We're gonna inhale right into that twist on one side. Slightly bending knee and arm. Good, drop it down, switching it over, other side. Good, exhale, drop down. Last time, inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, walking it out into that high plank position. One more time, a little bit of core challenge here before we wrap up with stretching at the end, which is the best part. Rocking forward and back. You can keep those knees down if you need to. I'm gonna invite my people that want to turn it up a little bit, setting your forearm down on the ground, 1, 2, then popping up to a high plank, 1, 2. You can alternate elbows dropping down. Take this as slow or as fast as you want to, or if you're like, no way, I came here for the gentle yoga, you just stay right in that modified plank. You can even shift back into a child's pose. If you're in that high to low plank, keep it going. Maybe even widening those feet if you need a little bit of extra help, and reminding yourself not to sway those hips side to side. Last one here, popping back up into that high plank, walking those hands a little bit closer together, setting those knees down, dropping down to the ground. Pressing through the hands, inhale, upward facing dog, and then child's pose. Allowing yourself to breathe. If you were doing those high to low planks, maybe even feeling a little bit of shakiness in your arms. And just having gratitude that you're able to come here today to move your body, to breathe, to have those 30 minutes of just relaxation and recovery for yourself. Let's take a deep breath in together. Inhale in fully. Exhale out. Good. Bringing yourself back into that tabletop position. We're going to go into a pigeon pose, which is my favorite. So you're going to walk your leg through, and then we're just going to sit back. So we're going to kind of walk ourselves back till we get to a place where you feel a real good stretch. Now, here's the second option. This is the most advanced option. Our second option here, you guys can take that pillow or that blanket and you can kind of place it on the side of you. So that way, when you take your leg out in front, your butt rests a little bit higher. Okay, so if you're in this position, let's show you that again. If you're right here, you can kind of just take that leg in front of you, scoot that pillow underneath you or that blanket, and that will lift your hip a little bit higher off the ground. This really allows you to get deeper into that stretch without cranking on that knee. I think I'm actually gonna keep there, it feels nice. So when you guys are ready, coming down into that pigeon pose, I want you to first, before you even get too deep into that stretch, take a look back at your leg behind you, and you wanna make sure it's directly behind your body. If it's way out to the side, just go ahead and walk it over closer to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, release yourself down. Now in this pose, I like to sometimes cross over my hands or my arms to allow myself to just rest my forehead. If you have another pillow or a blanket, you can even stick it right underneath your forehead here to help lift it up off the ground. If you are really flexible, your forehead might touch the ground. And allowing yourself to just release here. Pigeon pose a lot of times can bring up a lot of things. It's where we store a lot of our stress. It's where a lot of things get held. But this is the perfect opportunity to use that breath to help release any tension that's lingering. Oftentimes too, especially in a yin yoga class, you might start to cry, you might start to have feelings of anger pop up, emotions like crazy. You're gonna have the urge to move, but I invite you to instead turn your focus in towards your breath. Take one more deep inhale with me. Exhale, really allow yourself to sink down and surrender. If you start to feel tension come up and arise, allow it to just push away. Oftentimes I think of it as on a leaf in a stream, where the leaf will just drop down into the stream and then float away. Go ahead and slowly start to walk yourself back up, and I mean super slow. All the way up, maybe even keeping those eyes closed. If you're on that pillow, just go ahead and swing those legs around, sit right up on top of that pillow. And then we're gonna go into a little knee drop here, side to side. So getting those feet about hip width apart, and then just setting those knees off to one side, and then to the other side. Good, doing this as many times as you need to, till you feel ready to switch sides. When you do, go ahead and shift yourself over, allowing yourself to get into that positioning. Sliding that pillow underneath your hip if you need to. And remembering that each side is a little different. So if this one feels a little bit tighter, if your foot is like way out here and it's almost parallel to the front of your mat, that's gonna make it extremely difficult. So if you wanna pull that ankle a little bit closer to your body, decrease the angle here, we're gonna feel a little bit better in that stretch if you are super tight. If you're not, feel free to take that ankle and push it further away from you. When you start to feel ready, dropping down to those forearms. Maybe sitting yourself back just a little bit further into that stretch. Really allowing yourself to melt away here. On this last side, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to think about something that you've been holding on to for a while. Something that feels heavy on your shoulders. I want you to take that, and on this inhale, I want you to inflate it as much as possible, almost like it lives in a balloon. You're going to inflate it up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And on that exhale, allow it to release. Let's do that again one more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, release it. So often we can find ourselves holding on to things that don't really belong on our shoulders. And if it does belong, ask yourself, are you gripping too much? Are you trying to take control? Or are you able to help release just a little bit of that heaviness And just allow yourself to have a little bit of faith that it will work out, that it will be okay. Remind yourself of this daily and use this, even this stretch, to really work into those areas that are holding on to that tension so tightly and release it away. One more deep breath here. Exhale out. Slowly start to walk yourself back up. And we're going to swing those legs around one more time, going into those knee drops side to side. Feet are wide here. And we're going to go into our final pose, which is legs up the wall. One of my favorites. So, when you're ready, you can take your pillow and your blanket. This is when you can get kind of cozy here. And feel free, if you want to, you can place a pillow underneath your hips or your lower back. Kind of depends on how much your spine is arched, so you can kind of feel what feels good for you. I like to have a pillow underneath me, and then I'm going to use my blanket to just kind of cover up here. So get nice and cozy. So what you're going to do is you're going to get close to the wall, as close as you can. This is about to look real weird if somebody walks in, by the way, but it's all good. Who cares? So you're going to get as close to the wall as you can. Your hips are going to be sitting almost all the way up against the wall. If you don't have a wall close to you, feel free to just do this at your mat without a wall. Still works. When you get ready, you're going to just swing those legs up to the top, and they may be like super bent, and that's okay. You might have to scoot a little bit away from the wall here, and then kind of shimmy your hips up so that your butt is reaching close to the wall. And then I'm going to just sit my pillow so that it's underneath my head. All right. So once you shimmy yourself close enough to the wall, you don't want to be like far away. You want to be just within a couple inches of the wall, if not pressed all the way up against it. And then once you get there, maybe you bring out that blanket. You can even place something over the top of your eyes. Get yourself nice and cozy. Maybe even taking out your hair tie, that is. And once you're there, settling in. If you feel any tension in that lower back, maybe experimenting with that pillow underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in, inhale. Exhale out. So one of the coolest things that we can do at the end of our practice, whether it's yoga, Revive, or any type of workout that's lower impact, is allowing our feet to lift up towards that sky. So what that's going to do is help circulate any of the fluid within our body, especially if you deal with swelling in the ankles or the feet, and allow that blood to just come back to center. It helps so much with the regulation of our body. You can look up all of the fun facts on Google. But one of my favorite things is the release of the weight off of our bodies. So as we sink into this final pose, I want you to remember how much we just released, and feeling confident that when you walk away tonight or today or this morning, that you're going to feel lighter. On that note, take a deep breath in, inhale. Exhale, release. feels safe to you, I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And I want you to express a little bit of gratitude for what your body does for you every single day. That no matter what problems you're faced with, no matter what challenges come your way, that your body is always here for you. And tonight, today, this morning, you honored that. And your body and mind thank you. Take a deep inhale in, inhaling in all of that gratitude and positive energy. Exhale out. Start to wiggle those toes, placing those hands up, rolling out the wrists, wiggling those fingers. Bringing in a slow bend into one knee, and then the opposite. The funnest part of this is rolling off the wall. When you're ready, pressing yourself up into a seated position, making your way there. There's no graceful way to do this. Once you get there, finishing off with one last moment here. Closing your eyes, placing your hands at heart center and bowing your head. I thank you guys so much for allowing me to share this new format with you and being open to something new. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight, wherever you're coming from. Namaste.